hair flips, wire foo, and Y2K fashion that could slice a man in half. That's right. This week we're putting on our wigs, heels, and earpieces as we revisit Charlie's Angels, the movie that made crime fighting look like a pop music video.
Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Danielle, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. This week, we're putting on our glam spy gear to revisit the over-the-top martial arts-filled roller coaster that is Charlie's Angels, the 2000 reboot that changed the action comedy game for a generation. But before we dive in, let's get into some
Housekeeping.
housekeeping. If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here are a few ways that you can.
You can buy us a virtual cup of coffee on coffee.com. Every contribution helps us keep the Blockbuster vibes alive, and you can even rent the theater, and for $50, you can choose a movie that we do within our time period. Visit us at ko-fi.com/no more late fees.
Want more hot takes, deep dives, and behind the scenes fun? Make sure you join our Patreon for exclusive bonus episodes and perks at patreon.com/no more late fees.
And if you're looking for nostalgic merch to add to your collection, check out our Amazon store for curated picks inspired by the 90s and 2000s. Head to amazon.com/shop/no more late fees podcast.
And this week we're not alone. We're joined by Jackie's sister, Heather. Welcome back, Heather.
Thank you so
Hello.
much. I'm so happy to be here.
If you want to learn more about Heather, check out our Sweetest Thing episode, Billy Madison and Evolution, as well as their bonus episodes. And don't forget to check out this week's bonus episode as we list our favorite female movie spies. All right, Jackie, as if we really need this, what is Charlie's Angels about?
Independent women. It
Throw
is
your hands
about
up at me. Sorry.
It is about three brilliant, beautiful, and butt-kicking women, Natalie, Dylan, and Alex, working for the mysterious Charlie as private investigators. When a tech mogul is kidnapped, the Angels uncover a plot that could compromise global security if they can get past some of the truly extra villains and gravity-defying stunts. It stars Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and Bill Murray, Sam Rockwell, and Crispin Glover. It was directed by McG, and it was written by Ryan Rowe, Ed Solomon, and John August. It's based on the show Charlie's Angels by Ivan Goff and Ben Roberts, and you can currently rent it on Prime. But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
So, you know the drill. Before we get to the movie, we'll reveal the rating our Y2K versions of ourselves would give, and then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with our initial rating. Our scale consists of would buy it again,
The best would play on repeat
5-day rental,
and would watch again.
2-day rental,
Okay, but nothing to write home about.
and same-day rental.
Blow it up in a helicopter because it's trash.
That's right. All right, Heather, we'll start with you.
I'm going back and forth between would buy it again, and 5-day rental. Like I remember very much enjoying this movie, but I don't remember it being an instant replay all the time at our house. So I think I'm gonna go with 5-day rental for my Y2K version.
I'm breathing a sigh of relief because I too would like it to be a 5-day rental. But I know Jackie really loves this movie, and then I was like, oh, well, then Heather's gonna love it. And I'm like, they're gonna kill me that this is not gonna be
A pick of the year.
yeah. But I looked on my shelf. I love the second one, but I know I didn't buy the first one.
There was a second one? I don't remember
What?
there being a
With
second one.
Demi Moore as
Oh,
Madison.
yep. I remember now. Sorry.
I was like, what's happening?
So Danielle, you were also a 5-day rental?
I am.
Okay. Yeah. Action, hot women, good music, explosions, Drew Barrymore. It's all there for me. Would buy it. I'd buy it.
All right, well, let's see if the people agree. What's with the box office? Damn, this movie had a budget of $93 million.
Wow.
Was
That's
this
wild.
this wasn't sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Oh, okay. Bad Boys was Michael Bay. This is McG. Okay.
Yeah,
I had to like
you look like
mentally
you were
separate.
tweaking out for sure.
That was a definite glitch.
The
Like,
It
mental
was.
gymnastics I just went through to separate those
Your
two
eyes
people
were
in my
like
brain.
blinking when you look back on this.
That'll be a GIF.
So, yes, it had a budget of $93 million and it made $264.1 million worldwide. It opened November 3rd, 2000, with a whopping $13.7 million in its opening day,
Wow.
debuting at the top of the box office. And for its first weekend, it grossed $40 million, dethroning Meet the Parents, which had stayed at number one for 4 weeks, making it this movie the 12th highest grossing film of 2000.
With only 8 weeks left in the year,
Yeah,
wow.
that's crazy.
insane.
Lil Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times,
Don't let me
did
down,
not
Lil Raj.
did not feel the same way as the
Fuck.
general public. He called it a movie without a brain.
Oh my
Charlie's
God.
Angels is like the trailer for a video game movie, lacking only the video game and the movie, and gave it half a star out of a possible 4 stars. Your
What a
boy
hater.
is
I
tripping.
can't handle that. That's so unnecessary. That's an unnecessarily negative review for this
It's
movie.
fun. Like,
It
I
is
and
a
it's
know.
just,
campy,
yeah, and
It's
fun
it's just
movie.
shot like a
lighthearted.
music video and it's not meant to be taken seriously.
Come on, Lil Raj.
Well, before we get into cast and crew, let's hear a message from our pod pals.
30 Dirty and Dying is the podcast for flailing millennials by flailing millennials. Every week, two sick sad millennials who just happen to be best friends get together to talk about what it's like hitting the 30 mark and still feeling like you don't quite have your life together.
We're 30-ish, we're dirty-ish, we're dying-ish.
Every week we go back in time to relive the years of our millennial youth, whether that's cringe posts from the earliest days of social media, or all the way back to the 90s to see what was going on in pop culture. 30 Dirty and Dying is available on all major podcast platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We have new episodes every 30 Thursday, and you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at 30 Dirty and Dying to keep up with what our millennial midlife crisis looks like next.
I really want to get into these notes from about casting this movie. So one thing that I think I'm like finally, not finally, but as we go through all of these movies is realizing that even some of these stars who are so popular, have so much power in Hollywood, still don't have as much power, especially back then, as we would
Hmm.
like to think. So Drew Barrymore, she actually optioned to get this movie with her production company, Flower Films, in 1999. And there's still so many things about the casting that I side eye. So, for example, Thandie Newton was reportedly really close to signing a deal to be the third lead, which is Alex, that eventually went to Lucy Liu. And over the years, there have been different things that have come out about this particular production. But in 2020, Dandy revealed that the real reason why she rejected the part of being one of the angels was because she felt that the role was too objectified, pointing, and said that her character was going to be introduced with a close-up of her butt in tight denim. Newton also quit as the result of a meeting with Sony Pictures executive at the time, Amy Pascal, which we all know about Amy Pascal and the leaked Sony emails, where Pascal told Newton that no one would buy a black woman as being college educated, even though Newton studied at Cambridge, and tried to turn her character into a stereotypical black woman, which is hilarious because statistically, black women are the most educated demographic in the country right now. And the fact that when Lucy Liu took over the role, she was very smart, like
Mm-hmm.
rocket science smart
Yeah.
in this movie, which fits into stereotypes about Asians being extremely smart. Not that
Yeah.
they're not, but you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
I'm just like, this is all sorts of fucked up.
Wow.
Well, Amy Pascal can fuck right off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like just this tried to turn her character into a stereotypical black woman. It gives Foxy Cleopatra from Austin Powers vibes. Like
Yeah.
that's what I feel like they wanted to turn that character into if
Wow.
she had some
Yeah.
fun.
I can't wait till we do that movie because then we can start talking about blaxploitation movies and
Yeah.
the difference between how those movies portrayed black women in comparison to when white movies try to do it.
Yeah.
But I think Dandy did the right thing by not doing it. But it's funny because years later, I think it was last year or the year before, we saw my girl who I absolutely adore, Nia Long. She went on Drew Barrymore's show to talk about how like she was also in the running or as to be, I think, the role of Alex, and
Mhm.
they ended up not choosing her, saying that she looked too old next to Drew Barrymore. Let me just say this. If you look at a picture right now of how
Mhm.
Nia Long looks, the bitch looks younger than me.
Yeah.
She's still, I mean, that she still looks fucking amazing. And there's no way in hell, like there's no
Mm.
fucking way. There's no fucking way. Not not 90s, 2000 Nia Long. Give me a fucking break. That is the wildest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. I think Nia Long would have been too black and they didn't want to say that. Big
Uh
miss.
Jada Pinkett Smith was also offered the role of Alex, but she declined it in order to film Bamboozled instead. And then other people who were considered were Jennifer Lopez, Angelina Jolie, because she's spy
The
in
spy movie
action and
girl.
everything, Salma Hayek, Liv Tyler, and Lauren Hill.
Yeah, there's a ton of people. They also said Aaliyah was considered, but then they said she was too young. And apparently, the reason Angelina Jolie turned it down was because she had already played a quote unquote tough girl and didn't want to be pigeonholed into that kind of role forever, even though she goes on to play the same thing. Again, she
Yeah,
might not just have wanted to work with these bitches. I don't know. I'm just
that's true.
saying. But I just think that's kind of sus because, like, what do you mean? She literally went on to go play this role, tough girl
Yeah,
role,
Mhm.
multiple times after this.
yeah.
So who knows?
Mila Jovovich, Alyssa Milano, and Julia Roberts were amongst the many actresses who were the forerunners for the parts of Natalie, Dylan, and Alex.
I wonder
I
if,
can't imagine them being casted any differently though. Like
No.
none of those
no,
actresses seem like they would have fit the vibe of the movie.
no, not at all. But I just wonder if Drew Barrymore had always intended to be in the movie or she just was going to produce it.
Yeah.
But during that time, this was like a epic run. Nick had sent me and Jackie this video about Tom Hanks and his epic run in the 90s. Like it
Mhm.
was year after year, just like crazy movies from like 92, 91 to
Yeah.
the end of the 90s. And I want to say that Julia definitely was having that run. And
Hmm.
so was Drew. Like
Mhm.
towards after Wedding Singer was like banger after banger with her.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious if she always intended to be in the movie or not.
Other considerations, Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg auditioned for Natalie. Her cousin Melissa McCarthy appeared during the Red Star break-in as office worker Doris.
I love when
Hmm.
she's like, bitch.
I heard that. And McGee cast Kelly Lynch because he needed someone who could physically stand up to Cameron Diaz.
I haven't seen Kelly Lynch in so long. Crispin Glover came up with many of his characters' eccentric traits, such as ripping off women's hair, sniffing it, and then screaming. Sounds about accurate.
Yeah, don't doubt it for a second.
What's that movie? Oh my God, Jackie, one day we're gonna have to do Willard, and I can't. I
And I'll
cannot.
be like, look at all the rats.
And
They're
I'm gonna
so
be
cute.
like, you'll see red scratches down my arms because I can't even handle it. It's the bottom of the list. I'd rather do so many things before that one.
Being married to Keith, all I could see was George McFly the whole time. A creepy George McFly.
That character, there were so, we'll get into it, but there were so many unnecessary characters in this movie.
But
Ugh.
that's what makes this movie great. Like, it's just so silly, over the top.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. Jacqueline Smith, Kate Jackson, and Farrah Fawcett were invited to make cameo appearances, but declined. Reportedly, Fawcett said she'd only do it if she were allowed to be the voice of Charlie. I think that would have been a really cute idea.
Yeah.
And Jackson insisted on playing Vivian Wood. Oh, okay, Kate.
But most of them did sign off, like all the past angels did sign off to have their pictures, so you kind of see it on the wall in the office, so that's kind of cool.
And then
Yeah.
John Forsythe and Kate Smith appeared in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, but Smith's role was uncredited.
The lighting in that scene with her in the bar, top notch. Frank Karachi, Baz Luhrmann, and Alexander Payne were asked to direct. I get Frank because Drew had worked with him on Wedding Singer, and did he not do 50 First Dates too? Or I think
can't remember.
I can't remember, but yeah.
Baz Luhrmann doing this movie would have been such a fucking fever dream.
I mean, it wouldn't have, I don't think it would have been as far off from McGee just
Yeah.
visually, but yeah, that would have been very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into it. So I started rewatching this yesterday, and I'm like, I watched this recently, and then I like had one of those moments like, why did I watch this? How did I watch it? Because it's not streaming and I don't own it. I had to buy it yesterday. And I was just going through all of these things, and then LL Cool J shows up, and then I like had different voices in my head making commentary on LL Cool J being there. I'm like, what is happening? And then I realized a couple months ago I went to Master Pancake and watched it. And so then it all came screaming back to me.
I couldn't find it. It was actually on the Internet Archive. I was literally texting Andrew to be like, "Yo, I need this movie."
I was surprised I didn't already own it, so I'm like, purchase. I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know what Master Pancake is, it's a comedy trio where you go to the theater and you watch the movie with them, and they make jokes about the movie and stuff as you watch it live. Anyway, so LL Cool J shows up on an airplane in full African dress.
What I don't understand is why the like it's not stewardess. What do you call the people who work on the
Flight
airplane?
attendant.
The flight attendant was so rude to him trying to get to his first class seat.
Yeah.
Like he automatically stopped and was like, "This is for first class only." I was like, "Bitch, are you being racist?"
Maybe they didn't recognize him because he like with how he was dressed. Maybe he would have like stuck out before, and they're like, "We didn't see you up here before. What's going on?" That's the only sense I can make of it.
I don't know. It was weird.
I think
I'm like,
because we'll get into it more. There are a lot of stereotypes, a lot of things that don't hold up in this movie. But I think what they were going for with that flight attendant was just like the sassy, bitchy, gay flight attendant.
which is worse.
Yeah.
Yes, it was bad. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, when I went to this movie, I was like, I'm not gonna sit and tear apart this crap when we do this movie. It's like you see it, you
Yeah.
know it, and it's so 90s, 2000. Like
Yeah.
it's so egregious that we would spend all day going
Yes.
through the absolute cultural appropriation, racism, microaggressions in this fucking movie.
Yes. Absolutely.
But that was my first one that I caught, and I was like, oh, Jesus, hold
We're
on.
30 seconds into this movie and
Yeah,
already.
it's ridiculous.
So apparently there is a gentleman with a bomb strapped to him on the flight. I just realized why they were questioning if he was sitting in first class.
Why?
Because Natalie went and put the
Yeah, the
costume
outfit on.
on.
That's what I was saying. Like they didn't
Gotcha.
see him in first class
Well, no,
originally.
thank you for explaining it because I was like, what the hell? What the
Because
heck?
as she walks out of the
What the heck?
bathroom, she's like fixing the back of her head like her mask.
Right.
Yeah. So he sits next to Roach from People
Closet.
Under the Stairs,
Mhm.
and he has a bomb.
That's what
And
you call him. You know what I always think? Like, obviously, he was in Twister. He's been in so many things,
yeah.
but I always remember him from the milk commercial,
Oh,
Aaron
Aaron Burr.
Burr. Yeah, every time.
No, he will forever be Roach to me.
Mhm. It was nice of him to have a tongue in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, let's say his real name so we're not
Yeah.
horrendous
Because
people.
he has a big presence on social media and he seems like a lovely man. And I'm
He
sorry that I
does.
don't know his name because he's been in so many things that are nostalgic to us.
Yeah.
Right. And now I'm like, literally, oh, Sean Whalen.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he has a bomb. That's the mission. So they just throw him out of the airplane and then LL Cool J jumps out as well. And
Wouldn't opening that door though like affect the rest of the passengers on that plane?
Yeah, I
yeah.
think so.
It like
Especially if
puts
you're
everyone
not
else in
closing
danger.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the mean flight attendant got sucked out.
Yeah.
So Dylan she doesn't take off the mask until she lands on the boat, right?
Right.
Right.
And
Okay.
freaks that man out. Like, what in the hell is going on?
So she jumps out of the plane, has a parachute, she grabs him, lands in a boat with the other two angels just in swimsuits chilling,
Hmm.
getting a tan, and Dylan rips off her mask and reveals herself to be a Charlie's Angel. And so crisis averted.
Hmm.
The bomb has deployed midair, has not blown anything up, and they've caught the guy that was trying to blow up the airplane.
What I do not understand is when you read some of the reviews from a lot of the critics, they say all the stuff like it's unbelievable that these women could do all this stuff. And I'm just like, how many action movies do we see? And we're like, there's no possible way that that should be able to happen. Like, obviously, we know now that Tom Cruise does his stunts, but even still, it's just like no one's
Hmm.
doing that for real. So I don't understand why. Well, I know why, but
Yeah,
like it's annoying that everybody's trying to put realism with this very campy movie for these women. I saw a quote from which really hurt my heart because I love him so much. But Guillermo del Toro, when he was making Blade 2, he commented that while films like Charlie's Angels had helped to popularize the wire fu style of fighting choreography in Western films, that they also served as a nail in the coffin and prompted many filmmakers to want to get back to more hard-hitting action. In his commentary, the moment you see Cameron Diaz flying in the air and you know that she's incapable of flying in the air and kicking five guys, you realize that it's done using wires. I mean, Charlie's Angels was great, but its fighting style was almost satirical. Yes, that's
that's
the
the
point.
point.
Like, come on, guys. Please.
I'm also making the connection that Charlie's Angels is probably the reason why I love the Kingsman movies so much
Yeah.
because it's the same thing, just unbelievable, very stylized movie
It's
with lots of
super
unbelievable
similar.
fighting and sequences and so it's all coming together for me. I
Hmm.
have a
And
type.
and to bring in what's that damn movie we watched with Andrew?
Oh, fucking Kung Pao.
Yes, it's literally like in the same vein of just like making it
Yeah. Or
fun and
like
campy.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. They weren't flying either.
Okay, but that's different. We're not comparing those two.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you're using the same technology, and like the goal is to suspend belief in both
Yeah,
of
but
these
I
movies.
believe that they could really I was not questioning a fucking thing in that movie. It was so gorgeous and the choreography was so much better. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah,
but I get what you're saying. But
yeah,
that's kind of what he's saying. Like it's like I kind of like I'm mad that he had to even talk about it because it's like it's not supposed to be realistic, but I also get where he's trying to say like this is like an art form
hmm,
that the East have put together and now West they're trying to like appropriate it and not do it, give it justice.
right,
So that part I get, but I also think that if it was a bunch of white men doing this, he would have never said shit.
never. Did anyone say that The Matrix was unrealistic?
Because it was real. It's happening right now. I am waiting for Neo to come wake my ass up.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. I'm
Get us
so
out of this
tired.
timeline.
Well, after Love Island, after Nicolandria wins that 100K, then you can wake me up and I'm ready to go. I'll eat the slop. I'll fight the robots.
So we then get the title sequence and this montage of all of their like past missions, and we kind of get a little glimpse into the history of each one of the angels and how they were kind of recruited.
Favorite parts of the movie, both movies, is when they do this. Like, I
Yeah.
love seeing what little prequels happened before they came together. Like,
Mhm.
I will rewind that
Natalie
again.
driving in the like driver's ed car with the headgear on, just
With your
like
headgear.
happy as can be while everyone's screaming. Top-notch comedy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so much fun.
It brought me back to wearing headgear and how special I felt and lucky I felt.
You have pictures of that because that sounds hilarious.
I don't know why I don't. I don't know if there's a single picture of me in my headgear
I feel
that I've
like we
ever
probably
seen.
have a video of you wearing it at
Yeah.
some
If we could
point.
find it, I will share it.
Yeah.
I could not, I was counting down the days till I got to go get my headgear. I was so
Oh my
excited.
Like,
God.
because I never had to have headgear, and I had a Cabbage Patch doll that had headgear. But Heather was like, "You, her shit did not stink.
I was
Did
ready to wear
not
it
tell her
during school.
anything."
What?
Yeah, I was like committed.
I hated wearing my braces. Like my mom was like, okay, well, you need braces. So, like, let's do it in middle school because I'm not going to be the girl with braces in high school. Fuck no.
Yeah.
So you're better than me. Couldn't do it,
I
Heather.
don't know why I was so excited. I feel like I had braces for 10 years. I had like different levels of braces and evolution of it, but something about that headgear just felt special to me for some reason.
So now we are back at the Townsend agency. We meet Bosley, who is kind of the liaison between Charlie and the Angels. And so we get that classic speakerphone. Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Angels. And they're given their next assignment, which is Eric Knox, who is a software genius, has been kidnapped. So they have to rescue Eric. And then and who hires the Angels is Vivian Wood, played by Kelly Lynch, to find and rescue him. And it's funny because, like, before Vivian walks in the room, Natalie's like, the partner
And
did it.
she wasn't wrong.
And then Vivian walks in, and Natalie's kind of like, oh. And I love this running theme because we do see Lucy Liu's character Alex is dating an actor. I don't know his name because his name is Joey because it's played by Matt LeBlanc in a
Mhm.
Yeah.
very Joey-esque character. He's an
He's
actor.
literally playing the same, like, there's no difference. You can't tell me that he's just not Joey from Friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And the bangs on him in this movie, I'm like, what is that haircut, Joey? And so we see Alex is trying to be like very homemakery, and she's always baking things that like don't turn out. And so in this office scene, they're like, she brings in muffins and she's so proud. And they start chucking them at one another. And the one like literally makes a hole in the door and like sticks in the door because it's hard as a rock. And I'm like, this is a
Remember
running
that one
gag that
time?
never gets old for me.
Remember that one time mom got tired of your room spilling out into the living room, so she threw your hairbrush at your door and it stuck in it just like the muffin did?
Yes. And the
That's what
best
I thought
part of
about when I
that
saw that.
was I heard it hit the door because I was sleeping. She was also trying to wake me up because it was like probably 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So I opened the door And there's just this hairbrush stuck in the door handle first. And I look at it and then I just close my door again. Like I was just like, I'm just gonna stay in my room if mom's in a mood. Sorry, mommy.
That's why I would come over and I just clean. And she's like, "You don't have to clean, Danielle." Like I know my friend. She ain't doing shit around here.
No, I didn't. So the main suspect for the kidnapping is a rival tech CEO, Roger Corwin, played by Tim Curry. As I'm watching this movie, I'm like, there are so many fucking people in this movie. And
Hmm.
not just cameos. There are some cameos, but like actual
I
roles.
totally forgot Tim Curry was in this movie. And
Me too.
honestly, if you take him out, I think it changes nothing to the
Yes.
plot. Like, why is he there? You know?
Yes.
It's so weird,
Because
but also wonderful.
Yeah. You
because
wouldn't miss him,
like
but I'm so glad he was there.
Yeah.
yes. Because like ultimately he's a patsy and so he's framed for the whole thing anyway, so you could lift him right out and just have some other contrived storyline of how they're infiltrating the
Yeah.
Red Star technology.
I
But
kind of feel like they made it him so that it made it seem like, oh, like,
yeah.
that we wouldn't catch on that what was really happening with the storyline, but still.
Yeah, the veil is very thin on the plot of this movie.
The plot, who knows her? Never met her.
We're here for the vibes. This movie is a vibes movie
A
only.
hundred, 100%. Strictly vibes.
So now we're like infiltrating, we're going to the massage parlor.
And this is where another horrible Asian fetishization thing goes on here. Now, Lucy Liu, years later, has said that she's thankful for this role because it did open up the idea of the characters that Asian people could portray. And yeah, it's almost like you take two steps forward but a step back kind of thing.
Mhm.
So she acknowledges that there was a lot of shit that was not great
Mhm.
in it, but she also thinks that so many Asian actors feel like Lucy Liu opened the doors for them, and they're not wrong. She really
Mhm.
did. Like there were so many roles that were meant for Caucasian women, and she ended up playing them, and it showed that it doesn't always need to be such a big deal, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, in this
Yeah.
scene at the massage parlor, they're all dressed in I don't even know what to call it.
Just
Japanese drag. It's horrible.
very stereotypical, not probably not even culturally appropriate, but like party city versions of what people think Japanese culture dresses like.
Yeah, it's bad.
Real
But
bad.
this guy seems like the kind of guy that would want to go somewhere like this,
Yeah.
so it does make sense.
Yeah. So she knocks him out with a little 1-2 from her foot. Danielle, how do we feel about feet on the face?
Look, when I went to Thailand and them bitches jumped up on me, I said, "You go ahead, do it, girl. You go ahead and do it." Now, they didn't put it in my face. I would have felt a way about that,
Yeah.
but their massages were so good. I don't know. I might have been like, "It's all right, this one time."
Went into Thailand.
When in Thailand,
Jackie,
like
didn't
every
you get a
day.
massage like that here in the States too, where she jumped up on your back?
Yeah, like I had booked like there was I had booked what I just thought was a regular massage, but it was the type of like it was where they walk on your back. So I wasn't expecting it, but I wasn't mad at it. I was like, massage
Yeah.
is massage.
Mhm.
I had a massage every day I was in Thailand. Not all of them, included somebody jumping on my back, but when it happened, I was like, I'm open. I'm open to whatever we want to do, girls. You want to jump on my back? As long as you're getting those kinks out, that's
Yeah.
great.
So through a series of events, like they knock him out, they make a copy of his key because like the whole thing is they need to infiltrate his
They need to find Yeah, I don't know what the plot was. All I know was that there was a car. They needed to
Yes.
get to the car. They needed to get into his place with the nerds.
But where did they find Knox?
In
Because
this
he
alley
shows
after they went to the party, that dinner party, and then they chased George McFly down the alleyway and found
Oh, they
him.
needed to get in his trunk later.
okay. It's kind of fuzzy. But at some point, Eric Knox is rescued, but then it's a whole other storyline of how they stole his tech, and he needed to
wait,
get it back.
wait, wait.
Tell
He
me.
has a
I remember when they were at the race track,
Uh-huh.
the guy that looked like a fake Ken doll was driving the chauffeur, and that's when the picture behind you where Drew Barrymore was licking the
Steering
wheel,
wheel. Yeah.
gross.
yeah, so
Um,
gross.
and then Lucy Liu's character was open in the trunk, so I think that's what they needed the key for. I don't know
Okay.
what was in the trunk.
It was his briefcase. I think she put a little camera on the handle of the briefcase, so that when he walked into the office, it gave them a tour of what the office looked like.
And
Got
that's when
it.
they found out they needed the
The
retina scanner
eyes,
and
yes.
then the was it fingerprints?
Some.
Out here doing the Lord's work, Heather, remembering what happens in this convoluted movie.
I helped too. I
Somewhere
got
in the
us to
next
the trunk.
somewhere in the next 10 minutes is when I started falling asleep. So I'm just glad that I was conscious
told-
enough to.
So yesterday I text messaged Heather at like 3:30. I was like, we're so good for tonight. She got kids, it's fine. She's like, I
Totally
forgot. And I could probably do it by memory, but can we do it tomorrow so I can watch the movie? I'm like, sure, it's on my movies anywhere. You can fall asleep to it tonight. And I wasn't wrong.
I try. I stayed up longer than I have in a while, but
Good job.
I sit on that couch after we put the kids down, and I'm just useless. I have so many things to do, and they're just not getting done. I'm sleeping.
You gotta get rest.
So let's rewind to the racetrack because apparently, well, I guess we get a glimpse of it in the like title sequence that Natalie is like a proficient driver. So
All of
then,
their cars are very cool too, Jackie.
yeah.
I'm waiting for you to tell me that you and Ken had a heyday going through and naming car types and
I
things.
actually didn't pay
They're all just
attention
shiny,
to
pretty
any
cars to me.
cars because I was multitasking while watching this movie.
I know I saw a black car. I saw
Yeah,
a blue
that's how I feel,
car
Jen.
with no roof. I guess they call that a convertible. There was a lot of cars. Red
Yeah.
car, green car, blue, yellow. I don't
I think a
know.
lot of them had no top cars too.
Topless. They were topless.
cars?
There were topless cars. Their titties were just hanging out.
Yeah. There's a lot of flashing going on around here. Car flashing.
And
So
at the racetrack is when we see Thin Man for the first time.
yes, and so Natalie chases him, and they go off track, and now they're just going through city streets, like traveling
That's
at
dangerous.
high speeds,
Yeah.
concerningly high speeds.
Very careless.
Also, they killed somebody. You can't tell me that red car that flipped over, nobody died in that
Yeah,
or injured very, like, that was insane. Also, why was it not until I read the notes that I realized that Thin Man, aka Crispin Glover, does not speak at all in this movie?
oh yeah, he just cackles.
And apparently he doesn't speak because he didn't like the lines, so he asked for them to be removed, and McGee and Drew Barrymore agreed to it.
It
Said
works.
it made him more mysterious. Yeah, it did. Certainly did.
So yeah, race car scene, massage therapist.
It's just movie music video
and
scenes.
then they have to go and gather the eyeball, the retina scan, and they have to gather fingerprints. So then we go to Drew
Red
Barrymore
Star.
in blackface or brown
Oh,
face.
yeah, okay. This is the third transgression. Yes. They go to it looks like like a belly dancing Arab Middle
Yeah.
Eastern bar.
Yeah.
And so unnecessary for her to be in brown makeup. And I looked
Yes.
at Cameron Diaz and I think she had maybe a little bit of a tint, but it was definitely Drew Barrymore. I was like, y'all should have felt a way about this. This is 2000. It's not 1956. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's unnecessary. There are all different skin type belly dancers. Like there's no reason. And they don't know who you are. You don't even really have to be undercover.
Right.
It wasn't great. Wasn't
So
great.
in this scene, it's the two workers, the one that you need the fingerprints for, he puts down a beer bottle and Dylan grabs it so that they can get the fingerprints. And then they show up in in the picture behind Heather in like just the most generic sexy party city
With Mountain Girl.
dirndls. Yeah.
Yeah, Dirndls, yeah.
And Bill Murray and Lederhosen with a tuba, and they're doing like a singing telegraph type thing. So when the guy answers the door, there's a camera in the tuba, so Bill Murray like shoves it in the guy's face to scan his eyeballs.
He learned how to play the tuba for this role.
Oh.
It's nice to have.
We need to go back also real quick to the dinner party that, like Dr. Frankenfurter, why can't I think of his name?
Oh, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yeah. The dinner party that they saw. The acting that Bill Murray did during that scene when he had the speaker in his molar and he's like, oh, talking to him with his mouth like wide open in his face. I was giggling so hard. Like, how did he keep a straight face while he was, the two of them kept a straight face while he was doing it. It was so good.
It's so crazy to me that he said yes to this, but took him forever to do another Ghostbusters movie. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Insane work.
I think at this point, we just don't question what Bill Murray decides to do. Bill Murray's going to Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think that's a perfect time for us to talk about his on-set shenanigans.
Yes, please. Indulge.
So, as we all know, because I think Lucy Liu talked about it more last year, but an extremely profane argument between Bill Murray and Lucy Liu shut down filming for a day. Apparently, Murray allegedly said, I get why you're here to Drew Barrymore, and you've got talent to Cameron Diaz, but what in the hell are you doing here? You can't act. The remark is said to have prompted Lucy Liu to launch a physical attack on Murray. In recent years, Murray cited script problems as the reasons for the feud. He explained, we began rehearsing the scene, and I said, Lucy, how can you want to say these lines? These are so crazy. She got furious with me because she thought it was a personal attack, a personal assault, but the reality is she hated these lines as much as I did. I feel very warmly for her now. I don't believe she feels the same. And I think she's pretty much, she sticks pretty true to F that man. And McGee also said, or would later say, that Bill Murray headbutted him while filming. Murray would later deny this, calling it BS.
I love how you censored bullshit.
Well, Nana's in the kitchen.
Ah, there is a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also at this party, how quickly it devolves to them just dressing up in like inflatable sumo outfits and then just like wrestling in the middle of the party.
Or transgression.
Wild. But also at this party, is this where Natalie meets Luke Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, if I'm literally pulling out the Drew Barrymore dating timeline, and this is after they were dating, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she's dating Tom Green during this movie. Oh no, sorry, that was Drew Barrymore. Wrong.
No,
Wrong
you're
angel.
right. Drew Barrymore dated Wilson as well, and his brother's in this movie, and I think they've been in like 4 or 5 movies together too.
Oh,
the lesser known Wilson.
Yes, the lesser known. I do like him almost the best, actually.
I do too.
Who did he play in this movie? Why can I place him?
I don't remember. I think, he was like I want to say he was a bodyguard or bouncer or something. I don't remember.
Hold on, let me look.
I put Drew Murray, Drew Wilson. Can't get her name. What are you looking up, Jackie?
Who played Andrew Wilson played.
Yeah, so while Drew Barrymore and Luke Wilson had a romantic relationship from 96 to 98. They started dating when they did the movie Home Fries together. But while they were no longer a couple, they remained friends and they did this movie together. But it was funny because when Cameron Diaz came, I forgot it was, no, it wasn't Cameron Diaz. It was Kate Hudson, I think. And they were talking about how they both dated a Wilson brother and how both of them do not talk to them anymore. Or like they don't answer their phone calls. I think they
Yeah.
both try to call the other because Drew didn't have Luke's number and they tried calling and it didn't work out so well. So
Andrew Wilson played the chauffeur that Drew Barrymore was seducing in the car.
so
Oh,
the Ken doll.
Yes.
Him
he is the
and the
very handsome
UPS
one.
guy looked very Ken dollish to
Yes.
me.
Hmm.
Okay. That makes
Glad
sense.
glad we're
On
all
the
on
same page
track.
on that, yeah.
So this is where Pete is introduced, played by Luke Wilson. Him and Natalie are very flirty. They end up going to Soul Train together.
I have thoughts, but I also love the scene where um Lucy Liu or Alex is telling her to flip her hair. It's one of
Yes.
my favorite scenes.
Flip your goddamn
Goddamn
hair.
hair. And at this point, I had already been in love with Lucy Liu because she was on Ally McBeal, so it was like perfect transition. Yes, I do not understand that they have a why they had this Soul Train situation in here. You have no black leads in this movie, so there's really no reason to be here. And the whole look at the white lady around the black people, isn't that hilarious? I didn't think it just was dumb. It wasn't
Yeah.
like it wasn't egregious. It didn't hurt my feelings or make me feel a kind of way as a black person. I just thought like, why are we here? Is this your way of like I don't get it. But
Well,
I
and
do,
we see at the beginning like Natalie's having this dream where she's like it's almost like a the mask situation
yeah.
where she's doing like this Broadway like type dance and has all of these dancers around her, and then we realize it's a dream, and then when she gets up she dances to her own rhythm.
Uh-huh.
She just
Eh,
has
So
the
awkward about
music
it.
in her.
yeah, there's a lot of scenes. Did you notice in this movie there's a lot of scenes where
Just
the
asses.
well, not just that, but like we talked about this before, where it's like they make these grown women seem like little girls, like
Yes.
she's wearing little boys' underwear or whatever, and just like it's a lot of joy in this scene, but it's also like I'm always looking at it from a different lens of like how creepy people are in
Yeah.
Hollywood. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I didn't realize how much of this is in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Soul Train scene, I did love that the guy that created and was in the Underworld movie was in this. I forgot what his name is, like Kevin something.
And I do like there are really sweet moments in this scene, aside from the Natalie Pete connection, because I really do enjoy that their chemistry.
Yeah.
But like when Pete is sitting, because he's not allowed to go on stage, only women are allowed to go on stage. So Natalie's up there dancing, doing her thing, and he's like hyping her up, but like to like the other dudes that are standing around. I think it's a bodyguard or a security or something.
Yeah, Kevin Graveau, that's
Yeah,
one of the bodyguards.
it's
He
a
actually wrote Underworld, the first movie, like,
really.
and starred in it.
So like he's like look at her go, like he's just so excited, and like he's getting no reaction from anyone around him, but
Hmm.
then like towards the end the crowd starts feeling her. At first it's like crickets, but then like they're like, yeah, you go, white girl. But then she gets a call and she has to leave, and so she's like, I'm so sorry, Pete, I had a great time, I have to leave. She runs out of frame and then runs back in and kisses him, and then runs out again, and then like all the dudes who have been standing there with no reaction are all just like, hey, yeah, and like cheering him on and stuff, and he's like, finally, you guys. Like I just love that little scene where
Hmm.
you think they're just like just very stoic, and then they're really hyping him up after she kisses him. So
But she
um
has to run out because work is a calling yet
yes,
again.
I think we missed the part. Things happen in this movie and I don't pay attention to the order. At some point, like you said, I think it's after the party, she sees creepy thin man, they follow him into an alley, so then there is a fight sequence there. And then that's when they find Knox. And then we find out that he thinks they stole his tech. And so that's why they have to infiltrate Red Star now.
And I love this. This is my favorite part of the movie is them going to Red Star and Alex is in her dominatrix
Mhm.
outfit.
With
And
Barracuda playing.
yeah, so good.
So good. So yeah, we arrive at Red Star. Natalie and Dylan are dressed as men accompanying Lucy Liu, who is dressed, yeah, very dominatrix centric. And she's supposed to go and she's like an efficiency coordinator. And so she goes in and she's kind of distracting all of the people that work there so that Drew and Cameron can go and infiltrate this main server and hack into the server so that they can access the files and see if the tech has been stolen. But yeah, this is where like they're standing next to her and like she takes her little cane and like hits Cameron Diaz so hard on the thigh. And she just has to stand there and take it. Oh, it's so good. And then like at the end, she's been very firm and like direct and like and then at the end when she really needs the distraction so they can sneak out of the room, she's like, better yet, can anyone show me? And then turns into like a helpless girl so that everyone kind of fawns all over her so that they can sneak out and get into the mainframe. So
And this
that scene.
mainframe scene is like, how many times have we seen it in a movie, right? Like,
Right.
we've seen Tom Cruise do it. We saw Catherine Zeta-Jones kind of do
Yep.
something similar with the lasers. We've seen it in even
Jay and
in
Silent Bob
Jay and
Strike
Silent
Back.
Bob Strike Back. I'm like, okay, why does this feel so familiar? But apparently, Cameron's character can do backflips, gymnastic style, well, Natalie, in this white outfit. But when she was doing a handstand, that is Cameron literally trying to keep because you could see her like almost falling over,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God. But they all did their own stunts in this movie, which I think is great. I don't know if they did every single one of them, but they did a majority of them, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about that during the Thin Man chase in the alleyway and stuff. I'm like all of the angles look like them. I don't see that many stunt women as
Yeah.
villains. That's really cool.
I
Uh,
think Cameron's dancing skills helped, and Lucy already had martial arts experience. It's probably Drew probably had the hardest time with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it said that they trained with their martial arts master 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 months.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And then going back to Cameron's dancing, when she's dancing around the bedroom, she was asked to dance worse with each take. And she found that incredibly difficult because she has extensive ballroom dancing training. And so it was hard for her to dance
That makes
not
sense.
not on beat. So now we see a little chemistry between Knox and Dylan, and they decide to put Knox under surveillance. Bosley has a computer that's scanning the Red Star mainframe to see if any of that stolen tech is detected.
And they
Um,
should have had like a glimpse or a nudge at least
yeah,
that these two were up to no good because they were like, well, just hand over the information. They were
yeah.
like, well, no, the whole point was to make sure that they weren't stealing from you or they were. So we have to prove or look at it first. And so they gave it to Bosley. And that's when, Alex decides well, Alex is going to go help Knox and watch him while the other lady, I don't know what her character's name is.
Dylan is going to help
Not
Knox.
not Dylan. Vivian goes
Yes,
over to Bosley's place
to seduce him.
to seduce him. Yeah.
So silly. And so we see Dylan searching Knox's Tony Stark penthouse.
Yes, it was very Tony Stark coded and
Yeah.
which is so crazy because then he's in one of the Iron Man movies later. I think. Yeah, yeah, he plays the bad guy in the third Iron Man movie. So I just always thought that was funny.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say Natalie goes on a date with Pete and Alex is running lines with Joey, aka Jason.
Yes. And Alex is trying to, because she really does care for Joey Jason.
Mhm.
And so she's trying to figure out a way to tell him what her actual job is because he thinks she's a nail tech
A
again.
masseuse.
Oh, a masseuse. Yeah.
Hmm.
Again, with the
Yeah.
stereotypes. And then their trailer, which is on set, his trailer is just on set, I guess, gets shot up. And so he comes in and he's like, "You survived that?" And she's like trying to tell him, and he's just like, he's not even listening to her because he's like, "You were in that trailer."
Yeah, she's trying to just like, oh, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck? Like, and what she cares about is that damn souffle, which we know wasn't
Yes.
gonna taste good.
Mm-mm.
She tries so hard.
She
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 does.
need to let it go.
So Alex is kidnapped during this scene by Knox's henchmen. And then Dylan is at Knox's house checking everything. And then he's trying to find reasons for her to stay. And they end up sleeping together. And as she's wrapped in the most unrealistic bed sheet ever, because that shit's a dress
Uh-huh.
fashioned to look like a bed sheet. And she's standing there. Vivian walks in, and by this point, she's realized that Vivian's a bad guy. You sound like Willow. And so Dylan tries to warn Knox by like spelling out in Scrabble tiles, like she can't fucking read that. Enemy. And he's like, I know. And then he takes off his shirt, and all of a sudden he's like sexy dancy guy.
Uh-huh.
Let me just say this. It's so funny. I was actually talking to Maria earlier today, and I told her we were doing this movie. She's like, "Oh my God, I love Sam Rockwell and his dancing." I was like, "Let me tell you, this man, let a white man know how to do a two-step real quick." And all of a sudden, everyone's like, "He can really dance." He does the same thing in another movie with Drew Barrymore where I forgot what that movie was called, but I'm like, it's all right, but y'all need to stop sweating him like he's
It's
doing
the
something.
same
Well,
moves that Tom Hiddleston has.
Yes, you were absolutely correct. But the
and I'll
difference
build on
is,
that about our favorite white boy. Johnny committed himself to learn how to do his little slidey dance, and we were all so impressed with Johnny that he figured out how
Doesn't
to do
take
that.
much.
that's
We're like,
different.
look at his party trick. It looks so cool.
That's different. When Johnny does it, it's amazing. Everything Johnny does is amazing. When we had that New Year's Eve party, Jackie and Johnny, what did Johnny do? Oh my God. He was playing the character. He
Oh,
did
for the
so
murder
good with that.
mystery.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
He
he
was
When
so
really
Johnny
went into
good.
it.
commits, he's so good. I
All of
love
his
you,
improv
Johnny.
classes came up in good.
Oh, you're right. I thought about it too. And everybody on the show knows I love Jackie. I love Heather, but I love Johnny the
Yeah,
most. I
Mhm.
the
do.
favorite.
Everyone loves Johnny the most.
Yeah, he's the
That's my
best.
No
baby.
one can argue with that fact.
Check out his previous episodes of Napoleon Dynamite, A Knight's Tale, and The Faculty. So we find out, yeah, Knox is trying to steal Red Star's tech, not the other way around, because it's not the voice recognition software. It's the triangulation software for cell phones.
Okay, so you have a picture of Charlie, but it's like a dark circle around it. Charlie too has the same picture with his own face darkened out. Like, are you in the CIA? So, like, why can't you be seen? And also, side note, Drew Barrymore and Sam Rockwell have been in three movies together:
Oh.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Charlie's Angels, and the 2009 movie Everybody's Fine, where they play siblings with Kate Beckinsale and
Oh,
Robert De
Love
Niro.
Kate
I don't
Beckinsale.
think I've seen that.
I don't think it was good, but I know I've seen it like maybe parts in passing, but clearly something went wrong where I didn't finish watching it. So.
Does anyone remember what happens to Natalie during the scene? Does she get kidnapped too, or is she the one that has to? No, she gets the phone call, right? And
Natalie gets beat up in the bathroom. Or she gets in a fight.
Yes.
They try to get her in the bathroom, and then she does that thing where she is on that man's neck,
With
and then
Yeah.
her foot.
with her foot, and then she calls Dylan to let her know that
Hmm.
it was Vivian. I think
Mm.
that
Oh,
that's how she
yes.
knows that Vivian's a bad guy
Yeah. And then they're all supposed to reconvene
at
at,
the office.
yes. So Knox has no use for Dylan, and so he just shoots her out the plate glass window. But because she's an angel, she anticipates it.
First of all, that drop
Yeah.
for she would have been,
Yep.
if not dead, severely injured.
And
Yeah.
that one tiny bit of glass is holding up. I don't care
Right.
how skinny you are.
I want to know in the writing room who said, you know what would be great if we take a naked woman, a naked Drew Barrymore, and have her have nothing but a a
To,
floaty,
yeah.
and say, hey, let her go interrupt two little young children as they are playing a video game and say that's totally fine.
Yeah.
It was, I think they thought that was going to be funny, but also I just thought didn't make me feel good. It gave me the
Mm-mm.
ick. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Well, the house that the boys live in was the same house used in E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And you can see a bowl of Reese's Pieces and a movie poster for E.T. in the scene.
Did you know that was one of my all-time favorite movies, Jackie? I had it on VHS and I had a ET bag that my mom still has in the attic, and that is why I love Reese's Pieces to this day.
I like them because they're delicious.
That
And
too, but that was why I
I
I
think
started eating them.
I think the first watching of E.T., which we didn't probably watch it until we were probably like 3 and 5, or maybe 4 and 6.
Yeah, because it came
Um,
out in the year we were born.
nope. They get to the part where they're torturing E.T. and Elliot can feel it, and I was like, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with this movie. And I don't think I've watched it since.
It's
But
very
it sticks
real.
in my head, that
Yeah.
scene.
I still remember what the ET ride smells like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
That
saw
air, that like dry air smell.
yeah,
Yeah.
like just must.
Yeah.
From
Whenever,
years of like wet patrons riding
Yeah.
yeah, just moist dust.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Moist. Ugh.
I
Um,
remember, I think Danielle, I think it might have been you and I that were there, or maybe it was me and
No,
Heather.
it
I
was you
don't
and
remember.
me. We just went for your when we went for your birthday.
No, it was a while ago. And when we wrote it, we gave the names Monica and Rachel for him to say goodbye
yeah, it
to.
was me and you,
It's
and we
you
Okay.
went
and
on our
Heather,
Yeah.
because
sisters.
I know I would have
Yeah.
never said that.
We
What were you
thought we
gonna
were
say,
so
Heather?
clever.
Huh? Oh,
What
I
were
was
you
gonna
gonna say?
say there's two movie references Keith makes whenever someone gets really sick, like if he's not feeling well. It's either the like shriveled up Voldemort at the end of Harry
Harry
Potter
Potter.
and under the train station, or E.T. on his deathbed. It's like, oh, I feel like
Aw.
Oh, I hated it.
it was
But
awful.
I am happy for you that it's one of your favorite movies.
It was. I
Okay.
haven't watched it in years, but I remember as a child that I very much loved it.
So yeah, Dylan has to borrow a bike and clothes from children, from the youths. And
Cold Stone Steve Austin shirt.
with the snake hands. So now she's biking to the agency. Natalie leaves the club and she's heading to the agency. And then I forget how Alex gets there.
I'm sure she
Um,
just drove as well, but she
yeah.
left her horrible trailer and
So
left.
confused. He's just
Yeah,
standing there still trying to
poor
do the
Jason.
mental
Pieces
math of
together.
how she got out of that trailer alive. So they all meet up at the agency and they go to walk in and just explosion.
Mm.
The agency is no more. So they're worried about Bosley.
But Dylan tells them that they have Bosley, but they're not going to hurt him for now because he is still trying to decipher the
Yes.
information that they stole. And then they remember that Bosley has that thing in his mouth still so that they can talk to him. And the scene is pretty funny because he hears the voices in his head.
And so then he's like trying to like he's using the finger antennas trying to get like connectivity, and he's like trying to describe where he is, but he's like just stuck in this dungeon. And then Natalie hears a bird chirping. And
Of course.
I just realized I am Natalie. The headgear, the upper eager, like just generally cluelessly happy persona, and then the bird recognizing.
that was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Your
I was
pygmy
like,
nuthatch was dead on.
I started following this guy who does all this bird watching on TikTok, and he mentioned, can't remember the name of the bird, but he mentioned a bird that I remember learning about in Wingspan. I'm like, it's all coming full circle. I'm learning so many things.
Oh, that damn game.
You don't speak ill of Wingspan in this family.
I'm not saying bad. It's just I remember y'all made me play it. I was like, what in the hell? I liked it.
It's a good time.
It is.
Wingspan, give us a partnership deal.
We have spread the Wingspan love far and wide.
Yes.
Yes.
So now the angels have to get in ass kicking mode. But how are they going to get? So Natalie identifies the pygmy nuthatch and they only live in one place, Carmel. And so now they have to go and rescue Bosley and beat all the bad guys. And so how do we do that? We can't just go walk in the front door. And so that's where the Chad comes in, who
The Chad.
Dylan was sleeping with at the beginning of the movie. He owns like this rickety old tugboat or something. Yeah.
Yes, in the timeline of Drew Barrymore's dating history, she dated this man named Tom Green. And while they were dating, he found out he had cancer and she stayed with him throughout the whole process of that. To explain to Gen Z, first of all, you have to understand what MTV was for us back then. Like, it was an amazing time. It was crazy, but it was an amazing time. And we got weird. So it's like someone going viral on TikTok is the equivalent of like Tom Green being just blowing the fuck up. Just random ash. To this day, I still don't know what that show was about. I don't know what he was doing on the show. I don't know who was watching that show. I know I wasn't.
You know, the movie I am not excited about doing is Freddie Got Fingered.
Oh, well, he's also in
Road Trip.
Road Trip, and I'm not mad about that. I love that movie.
So
he had a I don't know if it was in his intro song or just like a little skit he did, but I still quote it from time to time where it's like, I got a bag on my head, but don't call me a baghead, or insert object here. I got a cat on my head, but don't call me a cat head. Yes. I carry that forward in my life.
He also had a song that was called the Bum Bum Song.
Oh yeah, the bum. Yeah.
This all sounds like a fever dream, but it's 100% absolutely true. And so, and the bum bum song was literally like, my bum is on the chair, my bum is on the chair, like shit like that. And we also had this lovely daily show called TRL, which was Total Request Live, and it would rank the top 10 music videos for the day. And so you could call in and like, I don't think you even called in. It was just like how many plays it had. Totally rigged.
Yeah, you could call in, I think, to vote, to leave. I don't know if you can leave. How did we vote though? If you didn't call in?
I don't think we did. I think it was just based on rankings.
No,
because calling in to talk to the guests that they had. Like,
I don't know. Something happened because I remember collectively all the blockheads came together and voted New Kids on the Block way after their time frame to be number one on. It was a glorious day for me.
Jackie's researching. I see her face.
And as you're looking at when we thought about Tom Green, I started thinking about Andy Milonakis as well. Mm-hmm. And I too did not watch that show.
Gross.
So yes, it was fan votes, phone calls, and then later through online voting. So to bring it back to Tom Green, apparently people kept voting for the Bum Bum Song to be number one. Yeah. And TRL's like, this is a fucking parody song. We don't want this on our show anymore. So in an interview, Tom Green was like, they had to make up some shit where they had to retire the song and gave him like a little award for being at number one for a certain amount of days. So that they had an excuse not to play it anymore.
Aw.
So,
It is a little silly that it was
yeah,
on that show for so long.
yeah.
But you guys have some homage to pay to Tom Green, because Keith let me know last night that he is often referred to as the first podcaster.
Oh,
He
Interesting.
created podcasting apparently way back in the day.
I'm looking it up. I did not
I
know
am
that.
too.
Yeah, I had no idea. I did look it up before I brought it up, and I saw an article or two about it, so there's some truth to it. But yeah, I guess he
Interesting.
was
Oh,
one of the.
Adam Curry and Dave Weiner. I
Huh.
don't know who that. I gotta look that into it
Yeah.
too. But oh man,
So
He was a
yeah,
Tom Green.
trailblazer in a couple different areas, and then he became just a farmer Joe.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
just living his life on a farm now.
back in our day, kids, people, there was this thing called public access cable access channels, and that's how he started essentially. That and then MTV picked him up with the show. Interesting. All right,
So
so where are we?
yeah, so
So far
so
off the
we
ranch.
needed a boat. They had no problem accessing speedboats several times
Right,
earlier in
like
the movie, but now
we need
we
your
need a
stink ass
boat.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do think I really love that he calls her Starfish.
Hmm.
That's
Very
probably his real nickname
endearing.
for her. Yeah.
And so they all hop in the water in their sexy wetsuits, which no one is wearing a short sleeve wetsuit in the Pacific Ocean near Carmel.
Mm-mm.
No one's getting in that fucking water. It is shark territory.
It is. No, I'm not getting in that water.
No, you can pay
I
me.
I wouldn't make it past the first scene of this movie, I'll tell you that. I'll be the secretary.
So they all hop in the water, and then the Chad is just like, "You're leaving me again. What's going on? Was it the Chad?" And then Dylan's like, "No, the Chad was great." And then he jumps off his boat into the ocean as well.
So confusing.
Fast forward.
Yep.
Let's go. I can't. Just thinking about these scenes is annoying.
So now a lot of fighting ensues. Natalie is fighting Vivian. That's why they needed someone of tall stature.
The thin
Uh,
man is fighting Alex,
yes. And then Dylan is
fighting everybody.
tied up by Knox. She's captured and tied up by Knox. And then Natalie finds Bosley, gets him out of the dungeon. So he's now out running around with an axe for some reason. Dylan.
Dylan, this part bothers me always. It's the part that I want to fast forward, but it's the part that I think everyone finds one of the most iconic scenes in this, where she tells the guys, she's like, wait, because she's still tied up, and she
Yeah.
tells them that they're all going to be face down. She's going to kick their ass. And
She tells him how she's going to do it too.
right. And she does whatever. And she also says she's going to moonwalk. Babes, if you're going to throw out a dance move that you're going to do it. What she does is actually
The Roger
the
Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit, not the moon. She does
Yeah.
not moonwalk. So that annoys me. And then she's like, and that's kissing your ass, kicking your ass. That drives me crazy, the lisp. I don't know. I'm sorry if you have one, but in that scene, I'm like, you could not have come up with another term. She's always had a lisp. It was super cute when she was little,
Yeah. She still has one.
but
Yeah.
she still has one. And hey, if you have one, you have one. But in this particular scene,
Yeah.
it drives me. I don't know why it drives me crazy. But I think it has mostly to do with her doing the Roger Rabbit and saying it's the moonwalk.
Yeah. So at the same time, Knox gets the tech he needs and is triangulating Charlie's signal because he's calling in to like check in on the angels. And so he's kind of keeping him on the phone and because Charlie's looking for Bosley. He's like, oh, hold on. Oh, that's not him, blah, blah, blah. And so he finally gets a lock on Charlie's location and he heads up in a helicopter. Is Vivian with him or is she
No,
defeated?
she's defeated. She got her ass kicked
Okay.
for sure by
Um,
Natalie.
And so I think he does he program rockets?
He's trying to
Mhm.
have the rockets shoot
Yes.
the exact location of where Charlie is from his phone, and Alex is able to reroute it when she's literally sitting on the bomb itself,
Yes.
and they're going to make it explode. But at this point, Dylan is still not giving a fuck. She wants to go slam this man's face in,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
she's doing it all the way up. They almost like I don't know how they make it because the helicopter blows up and you see the bits. I'm like, this is going to hit somebody. Like, there's
Yes.
no way. But hey,
Eh,
movie magic.
yeah.
And
So
yeah.
they all end up in the ocean again, and then they like climb out of the ocean. They walk into Charlie's house excited because they think they're gonna finally meet him, and
Mhm.
he's already escaped. And they sit their wet asses on his like cloth couch, and I'm always just like, that is
I
that
wouldn't give
man's
a damn.
home.
I wouldn't give a damn. You can't show me your face. I'm going to wet up your house. Like, you're lucky that's all I'm doing. And he has that damn picture, and I like it.
Yes.
It kills me.
And that's,
Why?
we forgot to say what the
Yeah, we didn't set the
catalyst
stage.
of
We buried the
Knox's
lead.
revenge
Yeah.
is because his father was in the Vietnam War, Korean War, one of those wars with Charlie, and he blames Charlie for his father's death. So Charlie then goes on to explain later that like his father was a rogue agent and that's why he ended up being killed. So then we fast forward, and the Angels and Bosley are on a well-deserved vacation after all of that drama. And so
Mhm.
they're sitting on the beach sipping Buddhas. And Cameron Diaz, the way she says Buddha, like she puts the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, and it bothers me every time.
Soluble.
And they're all just sitting around kikiing, and Charlie calls to congratulate them. And Dylan's kind of looking around, and she sees who she thinks is Charlie on the beach. And he says something to the effect like, I'm always watching over you guys, or something like that. And so she kind of sees him, but she kind of keeps that to herself. And then roll credits and bloopers. And that is Charlie's Angels.
I really appreciate when movies do bloopers at the end, or at least give it
Yeah.
that extra feature on the play, on the DVD features and
Yeah.
stuff.
I miss
Such
that.
a
Like,
joy.
we are missing out on so much movie magic nowadays that we don't have behind the, remember how like on even on HBO they would have like
Behind the
an
scenes.
hour behind the
Yeah.
scenes of like how they
Mhm.
made the movie. We don't get any of that shit anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like,
And like it's so easy to do now. Like you have social media.
right.
Mhm.
Just like create a movie account and like after
They
the
do
movie's
it.
been out for a little while, like just start posting the
Behind
bloopers and
this,
stuff and get more
yeah.
engagement. Like it makes sense to us.
I think
Yeah.
it's also because we don't have the same shelf life of movies. We have a movie and TV show coming out every fucking day, it feels
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
or like it's an insane amount of content that we're getting. It's a lot. All right, let's get into some of the notes or some of the fun facts that we missed. This was interesting. So I know that Drew Barrymore asked Cameron Diaz quite a bit of times to be in the movie, and it wasn't until she offered her a salary of $12 million that she got her to sign on. Drew was able to come in with 9 million, just I think just her salary from being an actress. I'm
Hmm.
sure she got money from being a producer, but they gave Lucy Liu $1 million, and I
I
just
can't believe that.
just don't like this at all.
I don't like that at all either.
Prime.
And by the way, I adore Lucy Liu's freckles. I just feel like they're so special.
I love them.
You want
Remember when Ally McBeal was on and Lucy Liu's character would like give the look to people and like shut them up, and then
Yeah.
you would say that I gave that same look to people.
The ice queen look. Yeah. The script was rewritten at least 30 times until one was deemed acceptable by the producers and the director. And was it M. McGee? I can't
Mhm.
remember how you guys say it. McGee.
Who is the guy behind the OC, by the way?
Oh.
Love him.
Yeah,
And then I thought this was cool too. Although the bad guys in the movie use guns, the angels do not. Drew Barrymore, who as one of the producers insisted that the angels be able to do all of their fighting without firearms.
I
thought that
like
was pretty
that.
cool.
I do like that too.
What
As
else?
mentioned before, Drew Barrymore, as the producer, bought the screen rights to Charlie's Angels prior to this movie being filmed, a decision that earned her an estimated $40 million for the first movie and a possible $80 million for the second.
Damn.
A total of 18 different writers worked on this movie. That's why it's so confusing.
Yeah. And Drew Barrymore was a huge Harry Potter fan. Did you say this one already? No. Drew Barrymore was a huge Harry Potter fan, even going so far as to read bits of the books to the cast and crew during production. At the beginning of this movie, during the clips of previous jobs, she can be seen wearing a Harry Potter disguise, complete with robes, black hair, and round black glasses. Love that for us.
The race cars used in the movie were purposely built for the movie. 4 cars were built by Tri-C Engineering. The cars had a tube chassis fitted with a Chevy ZZ350 engine and automatic gearbox.
I don't know what half that means.
Neither do I. Went right over my head. But before we
Sounds
get into
impressive.
our ratings, do you have any thoughts, comments, feelings, kick-ass moves? I don't know. Hit us up at No More Late Fees on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Threads, and Blue Sky. And Heather, we'll start with you. What is your today rating?
I am bumping my rating up. After watching this last night, Keith and I were giggling the whole way through that I was conscious. All the little quippy one-liners, I know a lot of it was problematic, but I enjoyed it very much watching it last night, and it kind of made me miss the movie as I was watching it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to bump up.
Would buy it again.
Yeah.
And Jackie?
I did buy it yesterday to watch it, and I was confused as to why I didn't own it. And yeah, like some of the stuff doesn't age well, but I think what they were aiming for was parody. Unfortunately, they landed short on a lot of occasions, but it's just a fun movie to watch.
It is definitely a fun movie, but I think the problem, Charlie's Angels is my same issue as I have with National Treasure, because as I'm watching it, even as we were recollecting everything, even though I just watched it yesterday, I still was like, well, where's the scene with them being nuns? So, I adore the second movie. I think everything that they missed in this movie, they got right in the second one. So in comparison, that's why this one is never as much of a love as the second one for me. So I do own the second one. So I'm going to still stick with my 5-day rental. Still fun. But if Mama can only remember the second one, we've got a problem.
At least you remember the second one.
Everything, because what's his face plays Seamus or whatever, and you couldn't tell me that he wasn't an Irish man. And do you know that I have fallen for that man twice in a movie as some weird, mysterious character, because I also was in love with him as the cowboy in Romeo and Michelle, not realizing they were both the same person, played by Justin Theroux. Yeah.
Well, if you have any feedback from us, want to share your favorite bits from Charlie's Angels, hit us up at our quick drop 909-601-6653. Twat us at the Twitters, hem us at the Threads, butterfly in the sky at Blue Sky, and you could be featured on a future episode.
And love to give a special shout out to one of our Patreon members, Atiba. Thank you for loving and supporting us and the podcast. And join us next week as we twin out with our very first Olsen twin movie, Our Lips Are Sealed.
I can't believe I've never seen that movie.
Girl, me either. I was
we
not
didn't watch
Olsen.
A lot of Olsen twin movies.
I think they were younger than us, so it was a little different.
Yeah. But It Takes Two is where it's at.
Well, yes.
And Sister, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
I hope
thank you for having me. I can't wait to come back for Biodome next year.
We'll make sure that you are on the short list for that one. And Danielle will probably just take her headphones off at some point and walk away with us.
It's going to be another Billy Madison.
Quoting the entire movie.
Oh, well. Look, we're not quoting the movie. We're retelling.
Free the mahi mahi.
I'll try my very best.
No, you know what? I'll just sit it out. Just say I'm out sick Y'all can do it yourselves. I'm totally
You
fine
just
with
need to
this.
I'll be a
sit the
standing
entire
co-host
time.
instead of a guest.
Yes, that's totally fine with me. Danielle's out. That's okay.
No, we can't do it without you. You have
I
to grip and bear through
can't.
it.
Jesus.
We need you
Think you're
to
gonna
balance
love
this out. Bring us back home.
Join the dark side. And as always, be kind and rewind.